This is the old man at the bridge, and this person, he is Ernest Hemingway. A little, a few lines about him. He's an just give me a minute. He's an American novelist.
Ma'am?
Yes?
Ma'am, is it double M in the Hemingway or single M?
No, this is double. It's not double M. It is single M.
Okay.
Okay. This is incorrect. This is EMINGWAY. This M, extra M is there. This is spelling it out here. So please ensure that you write the correct spelling. Okay. So Ernest Hemingway was an American novelist, and after his he completed his studies, he for a short while he became a reporter, and then he was a correspondent during the Spanish Civil War. This particular story, it was composed as a news dispatch from, in Spanish, where there was this place, Amposta Bridge over river Ebro. This is the name of the river, Ebro. Okay. But Hemingway is known, he won the Nobel Prize in 1954 for his excellent mastery in the of art and of narration in the story called The Old Man and the Sea. I don't know how many of you have read this. Did anyone read the story, The Old Man and the Sea? This was once upon a time part of our ICC curriculum a long time back.
I have read it. I have read it once.
Ujait, you have read this?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Long before.
Yeah. So this is one of the Old Man and the Sea is one of his masterpiece, you can say, and for which he was awarded with the Nobel Prize in 1954. Now this particular story, that is Old Man at the Bridge, you see the definite article the is missing. Why the is missing? Because when we say the old man or the old man at the bridge, I am being specific to one person. Am I clear? That's the reason why we use the definite article, right? Here the old man represents this helpless civilian. Those who are affected when a war breaks out, people who are affected are the common citizens of that particular country. So this old man, he represents all those victims. So that is the reason why the word the or the article, definite article the, is missing. Okay. Now another thing that you need to know is that this story, it reflects the horror of war and its physical, mental and psychological effect on the countless of civilians. Okay, they are the ones who suffer the most. I think in the 8th standard we had done a story by the name, a poem by the name, The Battle of Blenheim.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So there also I told you the victims we do not know. The common citizens are not aware why it was considered to be a great victory, but they were the ones who suffered. You remember the old man? What was his name in that poem?
Old Casper.
Casper. And Casper, his house was burned, his family had to fled, and yet he kept on saying the war was great. But we do not talk about how it was indoctrinated about by the political party, by the people who were involved, the authorities who were involved in it. But we see how the common people were affected when a war breaks out. This story is also no less. It talks about the same thing. It talks about how the war affects, or the effect of the war on the common people. They are the ones who suffer the maximum. Now we'll just, again, I think there's a why doesn't it there is just give me a minute, children. My slide, I don't know, the moment I use a slide show. What is wrong? Okay. Okay. Now here, the old man, this is the person, the author, Ernest Hemingway. We are going to talk about the background. We are going to talk about the plot, the theme, title. Then we'll do the reading of the text, characterization of the old man, setting, style, symbolism. These are the points that we are going to touch in this when I'm teaching you this particular story. Now, as I was telling you, the background was a Spanish civil war. Now, this person, the war was based on General Francisco Franco, who was a Spanish general, and he kind of overthrew the Spanish Democratic Republic in during this war of 1936-39. And on this particular day, the setting that is of the old man at the bridge, the fascists who were helping and aiding General Franco, the fascists and even Germany that time during Hitler's reign, during the Nazis' reign, they helped General Franco in pursuing this war, where he also became a dictator. So we know about the two great dictators, that is Mussolini, and we know about Hitler, but also General Franco. He was the dictator as a military dictator for 36 years. Okay, so he too was a dictator, and he was aided and helped by fascists as well as the Nazi. So on this particular day, when the setting of the story is, uh, the war is going on. The war, it is a war zone. The area is a war zone area. The fascists are moving. They are going to attack that place. So the army is shifting or moving the citizens, the civilians, to another place. So there is, without, the author has used his narration in such a manner, without even, he does not mention even about a single bullet being fired, yet he creates a wonderful backdrop of the how it was a war torn area, and the country during that period. So the story, what are we going to study today? Story is set in a war zone at a bridge. Pontoon bridge means a temporary bridge across the Ebro River during the Spanish Civil War. Another important point you need to remember is that it is Easter Sunday. What is the significance of Easter Sunday? That I will tell you once we talk about the symbolism. And this particular bridge, the pontoon bridge across River Ebro, this is 12 kilometers away from San Carlos town, which is a Spanish town. Okay, on this Easter Sunday, why were they all being moved? Because the fascists were about to attack. Okay, and the warlike scene was created without any bullets being fired. And in this, where the civilians were seen moving in the bullock carts and walking and dust, and there was absolutely a chaotic scene. There was one thing that was noticed, was next to the bridge, an old man was sitting. He was not moving at all. So here, this man sitting in such a manner attracts one of the scouts, one of the soldiers who was responsible to see that the area is cleared before the attack takes place. So when he notices this old man, he walks up to him and he says, "Why don't you go?" So we see it is this particular story is from the soldier's point of view. Okay, so the narrator out here is the soldier or the scout, and it is written in first person. He is narrating it. Clear? Is there any question?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Gunit, please switch on your cameras. And I have only received one mail, that is from Amay, and nobody else.
Ma'am, I have
Ma'am,
also
I have
sent.
also sent you the
I
mail
have not
yesterday.
received any mail.
Ma'am, I have sent
Except
today
for
only,
Amay.
ma'am.
Ma'am, I had
Except for
sent
my-
it to you yesterday.
Ma'am,
I have not received any mail, and I'm saying that. So till I don't receive, children, you have to switch on your cameras, please.
Ma'am, I have sent to today only, ma'am.
Who is this?
I'm Toshit here.
I have not received any mail today. If you have sent it, then from tomorrow onwards you can do that. Today you have to switch on, please.
Ma'am, I sent it to principal, ma'am.
I have not received, neither have I been informed about it. So kindly switch on your this, otherwise I'm not marking you all present. was telling you about the old man sitting by the road. So this is what attracts the scout who was responsible to shift the civilians to the other side of the bridge because the fascists were about to attack. Up to here, is it clear to you what we are going to read and what is the story, the basic storyline? Now, the irony is that, so he walks up, the soldier, and he says to the old man that, sir, why aren't you going? Why aren't you walking across the bridge and going to the other side where there is a truck waiting to take you to a safer place? That is a place called Barcelona. Why aren't you going over there? So this old man, the only thing that he says is that he has left that his town, it was, there was an artillery attack, and the captain of that the person who was in charge, so he had requested everybody to move out, had ordered rather everyone to move out. But this old man, who was of 76 years of age, he had a responsibility. The responsibility was to take care of his animals. Now, what animals did he have? He had 2 goats, 1 cat, and 4 pairs of pigeon. That was what he said he had to take care of. So he is sad. He feels guilty that he had to leave his animal to fend for themselves. Though he has left the cage door of the pigeons open so they can fly, he's not worried about the cat because the cat can take care of itself. But he's worried about the 2 goats. Now here the goat is like it is are called the sacrificial animal. So goat is also exactly like the fate of this old man, who represents the victims or the civilian victims when there is a war in our country. So if you have seen, the irony out here is that like a goat which is sacrificed, the old man's fate is sealed on an Easter Sunday, a day of hope. This Easter Sunday, as I told you, Easter Sunday has it is important, and it symbolizes a day of hope and faith. Neither the old peasant nor the war is identified by name in the story, for the idea of the tragic sacrifices of the uninvolved men in every war is universal. Whenever there is a war, it is the common, who are the common victims? The common people. They are the victims. And this old man represents. Just like the goat is sacrificed, the man also, this old man is also about to die. So when you have a protagonist, who is, there is a sad ending, there's a tragic story behind it, and he is, literally sacrificing his life. Such kind of protagonists are called fatalistic heroes. Please write fatalistic hero. I want you all to, as I say the points, when you see it on the slide, I want you all to write those points because they are important. The next point that we are going to talk about is the theme. Theme, like what is the theme of the story? Why are we doing this particular story? Why are we reading this particular story? So the theme of this story, obviously, we are talking about war, therefore pointlessness of war. There is futility, absolutely useless. War is it is a futile effort. Why fight? For what are we fighting? So that is what has been projected by the author. He depicts how in war times, people or man acts in an inhuman manner. War causes death and destruction. Then there is, it is highlighted through the condition of the old man, who is the symbol of the civilian war victims. Is that clear to you? The pointlessness of war? These are the points you need to cover. If you get a question, comment on the theme of the poem, of the story. So the theme of the story first will be the pointlessness of war, and second is going to be compassion. Compassion by whom? By that soldier who was
Old man.
responsible. No, the soldier, the nameless soldier who walked up to him. First, he was not bothered. He's like, okay, why are you sitting here, old man? Please go and go to the other side, cross the bridge. But what happened? Then he starts talking to him, and he starts feeling, he starts feeling connected to this old man. He feels sorry for him. He sympathizes with him. Yes, Arya, you want to ask a question?
Ma'am, actually my network bandwidth is very low, so
Okay.
I may get disconnected many times. So please allow me inside
Yes,
whenever I
I'll do
get
that. Okay. Thank you so much for informing. I'll do it. Okay. So here, this is compassion. This particular theme, it is reflected through the nameless soldier, also the narrator of this story. He engages in a conversation with the old man, and he feels pity and compassion for him. Is that clear? Any question? Okay. Again, just give me a minute again. I think there's a. Okay, to continue with that, I also want you to write next to that, the next point will be aptness or the appropriateness of title. So the right next point, appropriateness of title. And the first line you will say that yes, the title is apt. The word yes carries mark. So remember, yes, the title is apt as it
the
as
title
it
is
apt, A-P-T, apt.
What's the topic, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Title, appropriateness of title. Appropriateness of title.
Yes, ma'am.
Appropriateness of title. Under that you will write, yes, the title is apt. Yes, the title is apt as the entire story revolves around as the title is apt, A-P-T, apt, as the entire story
Revolves.
as the entire story as the entire story revolves around the conversation revolves around the conversation with the narrator, which the narrator had with an old man
With the old man.
narrator had with the old man sitting by the side of the road sitting by the side of the road at a pontoon bridge. Full stop.
At all.
Pontoon. P-O-N-T-O-O-N. Pontoon bridge. Full stop. Next point you will write. The old man in the story. The old man in the story is a symbol of all those, comma, of all those who suffer the horrors who suffer the horrors of war, full stop. That is why, comma, that is why, comma, the author has not used that is why, comma, the author has not used the definite article. Within inverted commas, you will write the. The definite article, the, with the old man in the title of the story. In the title of the story. Full stop. The old man sitting near the bridge.
Ma'am.
Next point, the old man sitting near the bridge. The old man sitting near the bridge reflects that he is waiting for his impending death. He is waiting for his impending death. Impending.
Repeat.
The old man sitting near the bridge reflects that he is waiting for his impending death. Full stop. He is worried about his animals.
The next point.
Yes. He is worried. He is worried about his animals. This indicates that it is not only human beings but also the animals who face the brutality of war. Okay, so this is, you will get a question like, bring out the appropriateness of title, or do you think the title is apt? So they can be question based on this appropriateness of title from the prose lesson in the 9th standard. So these, remember, whether it is a personalized question, it will carry 4 marks. So you need to, the first thing that the examiner is going to check whether you agree. So the word yes or no, that has to be indicated and stated clearly. Yes, I think, yes, the title is apt. No, the title is not apt. Whatever you want to say, you have to say yes, no, and then justify your answer. Clear how to go about with the title, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay, now this little story, it's a short story, but it has got a lot of symbolism. I already mentioned about the old man. He symbolizes the war victims, and here we go with the other symbolism that you will see. The Ebro River. The Ebro River it represents or it symbolizes man's life journey. So I want you to write down as it is there on the slide. Ebro River, it is man's life journey. The animals, they stand for different qualities. For example, pigeons for peace and harmony, cat independence, and goat sacrificial. That is again compared to the fate of the old man. Okay, so pigeons, the animals are pigeons, cat, and goat, and how they are and what do they represent. Then that pontoon bridge that I was talking about, that pontoon bridge, also stands for two things. One, if you notice, point of no return for the old man, means once he goes, he's not going to come back, because that place is on the verge of being attacked. So it is going to get destroyed, just like the way his hometown has been. So that is why there is no way he can come. So if he crosses the bridge, he is not going to come back. Another representative of the word bridge or symbolism is that uncertainty of and danger, that if he crosses the bridge, probably he will be safe. There is uncertainty, and maybe he may not also, like something may happen to him. Therefore the bridge is a symbolic point of no return, and it also symbolizes danger or uncertainty and danger. Okay, clear up to here, children? Are you able to follow? Shake your head.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shake your head. Yes, okay, good. So the bridge, point of no return, and uncertainty and danger. Now you will also come across the word gray color, dusty gray color. It was the gray clouds. So the color gray, that itself gives out a very impending a negative thought. Okay, the story is not going to be something very that is going to be funny, humorous, or there's certain amount of sadness and gloomy. So the color gray. Now when I say the colors, and I'll say I went out and I saw this yellow, orange, green, and blue. Doesn't it bring out happiness in you? Oh yes, it's bright. Don't you feel that when I say these
Yes, ma'am.
colors? But when I say
ma'am.
gray, and it is black,
Black.
there is a shade of black, you feel, oh, it's dark, it's not that bright. Am I correct?
Dull.
So color
Yes,
imagery plays a very important role in literature. The author, they bring out all the feelings through various things. They talk about nature. Through nature, they tell us about the character's feelings. Through the colors also, we get to know what kind of a story is. So when you get to know all this, it is called as color imagery. Okay. We have spoken, I don't know, in the 8th standard, did you study about the 5 senses? There are imagery. For example,
ma'am.
visual imagery. When I read something and you can see it, you can imagine that thing as if you're seeing it. Sometimes there will be certain words, you feel like I'm listening, you can hear it. When I say tingling of the anklet, tingling, when I say the word, do you see the tingling or you feel the tingling here? Near you, you can hear it. Do you feel that way?
Yes, ma'am.
So when a word is spoken and then okay, I can hear that sound. Okay, so that is called auditory imagery. When I say a line and I read out a certain things, for example, visual imagery will be that the flowers outside my garden, it bloomed. You can see the flower, you feel like as if you're seeing the yellow flower, the sunflower. So that is visual imagery. Okay, so you have your visual imagery, then you have auditory imagery, and then where the delicious smell of the roasted goose or the roasted turkey, or let's say roasted paneer, since we have vegetarians out here. Okay, so when I say the delicious smell of the roasted paneer, how many of you are missing eating out? The pizza, okay, the pizza, the burgers. When I talk about that, I look at Melvin smiling. Yes. So when I say that, you can not only smell it, but you can also feel the taste. So this, when you can smell, when you feel like I can get the smell of the roasted goose or the roasted turkey, then what will you feel? You feel like as if this is called olfactory. When you can smell something, you feel like, okay, I can smell it. Okay, that is olfactory. And then when I'm talking about taste, this is called gustatory. The delicious, the crunchy taste of the chicken lollipop, for example. Okay, so you can look at Melvin smiling away. Melvin is hungry. Okay, so this is called gustatory. And when I say something regarding feelings, okay, this is called feeling. This is called tactile. Clear the imageries? Beside these 5 imageries, that is your 5 senses, there is another thing that is called color imagery, and this is what is used in the old man at the bridge. That is the gray color, which represents, what does it symbolize? It symbolizes sadness, old age, sadness, gloomy, and something that one is not interested. So this old man is not interested to stay alive. He's least bothered whether the fascists are coming and they're about to attack him. What he is interested, or what he is worried about, is what is going to happen to my animals. So when the scout, the narrator, the army scout tells him that, sir, you need to move, you need to walk across the bridge, that doesn't make any difference. It's not interesting him. He doesn't want to sit on that truck and go off to Barcelona. He's not interested. He is only worried what is going to happen to my animals. Clear the symbolism, Gray? So Easter Sunday, Good Friday, crucifixion of Lord Jesus, Easter Sunday, and after 3 days he rises and we celebrate Easter. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And that is why Easter, it symbolizes renewal, welcome time, rebirth, possible change. So you get a glimpse of positivity out here, that maybe because it's an Easter Sunday, therefore chances of this man to stay alive will be there. And the gloominess of that particular overcast sky, that will stop the air attack. So it will take time for the fascist, the Air Force which was about to attack them, it will take time for them to come. So probably they'll delay. So Easter plays a very important role because Easter represents this. On the other hand, it is also ironical that Easter Sunday, which is a time where people, it's a welcome time where we talk about rebirth, hope, and possibilities. On that particular day, that old man is sitting and he's waiting for his death, because he's going to die. If he does not cross the bridge, if he does not move ahead, he's not going to survive. So that is ironical that on such a day, there was one man over there sitting who was waiting for his death. If you have any question, please, you're most welcome to ask me. I can't hear. Are you asking me a question? Or there's other conversation going on?
No, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, we have to rejoin.
We have to
Rejoin the class.
rejoin the class. Why?
No, I was asking.
Why will you rejoin the class? I'm asking you if you want to, if you have anything you want to ask a question, you are most welcome to do so about the symbolism. In the meantime, I will, I'm just, where is it? Yes. In the meantime, I want you to, I'm just going to, yeah, old man at the bridge. Okay. Yeah, children. Okay. No question on that, right? So I'm going to start. I will share my screen with you again. I want you to, yeah. So the symbolism is clear. Now I'm going to some of the key points that you need to know. the character. Now I want you to write the next point as the character sketch of the old man. Character sketch of the old man. Now this is the central character. He is 76 years of age. He's a war refugee. Point wise you will write and you will elaborate, okay? Who has been uprooted and displaced by the war. These are the key points: disoriented, confused, disconnected. Okay. Now, beside these points, you also need to write the old man is a loving human being. I want you to write point wise, is a loving human being. The old man is a loving human being. Who is not only attached to his native town, but also to his animals. Second point will be, he has high sense of duty. He has high sense of duty, as he feels responsible for his animals.
Ma'am, can you again tell second point?
He has a high sense of duty. He has a high sense of duty. As he feels responsible for his animals. Deserting, next point will be deserting, D-E-S-E-R-T-I-N-G. Deserting his animals. Deserting his animals without any hope to reconnect.
I'm deserting
His animals. Deserting his animals, comma, without any hope to reconnect, comma, results in his symbolic death. Results in his symbolic death.
After reconnect.
Reconnect, results, comma, results in his symbolic death.
Ma'am, this is third point.
Yes. Next one you will write, the old man feels guilty and thus suffers with his inner self. The old man feels guilty and thus suffers, and sorry, don't write, but suffers and goes through inner conflicts, right? Inner conflicts.
Sorry, ma'am.
He suffers and thus goes through inner conflicts. C-O-N-F-L-I-C-T-S, inner conflicts.
Thus,
okay, so this is, as I've already told you, he's a fatalistic hero. You have to mention that point, fatalistic hero. So that is also important.
ma'am, could you repeat the last point, and thus?
And thus suffers with his inner conflict. So here we get the character. You have to mention these points as well. Disoriented, confused, disconnected. I already mentioned that to you. Here the old man, he keeps on saying, I was taking care of animals. This is what he is suffering. He feels guilty and it's symbolic. symbolic of many things, but one of the things is that he is guilty and there is an inner conflict going on. So this inner conflict is represented by this line: I was taking care of animals. Okay. This is the next, the short story has just a little background about it that I've already mentioned, that how he was a correspondent and he had written this as a, one of his stories, one of the things that had happened. And this is what is the old man at the bridge. Why, an introduction to that particular thing. I've already mentioned that to you. Now what we are going to do is that I'm going to start, I'll stop this sharing. And I'm going to give you, can you see this, children? The old man at the bridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Ronak is super excited. Okay, fine. Good. Now, if you see an old man, now when you are giving the characteristics of that old man, describe the old man, you have to mention these lines. He was an old man, he was 76 years of age, who wore still-rimmed spectacles, very dusty clothes, sat by the side of the road. This up to here is very important, okay? There was a pontoon bridge. Pontoon means a temporary bridge across the river. And here we see how the civilians were being moved. What was the, describe the scene near the river. The scene near the river was carts, trucks, men, women, children were crossing it. One, the mule-drawn carts staggered. Staggered means moved in a very, unsteady manner up the steep bank from the bridge, with soldiers helping push against the spokes of the wheels, because it was steep and they had all their things on it, so it was not moving up, and the soldiers were helping pushing it from behind to take it on the other side of the river. Clear this line? Any question here?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
The next point, the third point of the description of that place will be trucks ground up and away, heading out of it all, and the peasants plodded. Plodded means they were literally dragging themselves along in the ankle deep dust.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, could you send the scanned copies of this?
Yes, I will send you this. I will send this PDF file.
Okay, ma'am.
You will download it. Okay. So ankle deep dust, but. So you see how they were all kind of, busy, and there was a lot of hustle bustle happening out here. People were moving mule carts, and they were like, some of them were overloaded. So the soldiers were helping them to push it across the river, across the bridge. But one thing that attracted in all this hustle bustle was the old man sat there without moving. He was too tired to go any further. It was my business. This my tells us that the narrator is the army scout. So remember, my out here, who is this my? It is the narrator of the story, the army scout, or the nameless soldier. Both will be accepted. It was my business to cross the bridge, explore the bridge head. Bridge head means the starting point of the bridge. Bridge head beyond, and find out to what point the enemy had advanced. As I told you, the fascists were about to attack, and therefore the enemy out here is the fascists, and how far have they come? That was the job of that army scout or the narrator. I did this and returned over the bridge. There were not so many carts now, and very few people on foot, but the old man was still there. Up to here, is it clear, children? Any question?
Ma'am.
Where do you come from? I asked him. Who asked whom?
Nameless soldier asked the old man.
The narrator to the old man.
Yes, the narrator to the old man. Where do you come from? The old man answers, from San Carlos. Remember, it's a small town in Spain. It is called by the name San Carlos. From San Carlos, he said, and smiled. That was his native town, and so it gave him pleasure to mention it, and he smiled. So why did the old man smile while he spoke about his town? Because it was his native town. The keywords will be because it was his native town, and it gave him pleasure to mention it. Clear? That is the answer. And he smiled. I was taking care of animals. I told you, I showed you in the previous slide on that PPT point.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the line. See, he says, I'm from San Carlos, and immediately after that, he does not say, oh, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, and he doesn't say any of those words. He just mentions about his animals. He says, I was taking care of animals. So this line, it shows that how unhappy he is to leave his animals. He felt he was responsible for them, and that is the reason he keeps repeating it. Oh, I said, not quite understanding. So initially, the scout soldier, the narrator, he did not understand. He said, okay, maybe you left your animals. Fine. So what? Big deal. Because the connect was not there. Yes, he said, I stayed, you see, taking care of animals. Again, he says that I was taking care of animals. You see, I was taking care of animals. I was the last one to leave the town of San Carlos. Means I was the last person, because he waited till he was not asked to leave. He waited and took care of his animals. So he says, I was taking care of animals, he explained. Oh, I said, not quite understanding. Yes, he said, I stayed, you see, taking care of animals. I was the last one to leave the town of San Carlos. The narrator now tries to look closer and analyze who this old man is, what kind of a job he must be doing. And then looking at him, he says, he did not look like a shepherd nor a herdsman. Okay. So he did not look like somebody who takes care of animals and, a large number of animals. He did not look like a shepherd, neither like a headsman. And I looked at his black, dusty clothes. Can you see the color imagery here?
Yes,
Black,
ma'am.
dusty clothes, and his gray, dusty face, and his steel-rimmed spectacles, and said, what animals were they? Various animals, he said, and shook his head. I had to leave them. Now, I'm going to stop out here because I have a next class at 10 o'clock, and we will continue. Do I have a class tomorrow with you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In the meantime, I will be forwarding this to you all so that when I say the meaning, you can write it down. If you have any other question, you're most welcome to ask, children, before I end this class.